And I want to say that I met
You
her.
know they
Hello,
shared a
hello,
clip. Did y'all
everyone.
see this little
We are
clip?
live. It's your girls.
No, I
Huh?
didn't see that.
Am I
What was
going
that?
live or no?
Say
No?
it again, Monty.
I was going live and then I didn't know what happened. Okay. Hello, everyone. We are live. It's your girls, Dr. Joy, pre-PhD, Montique, and Callie. We had to get on here. We're going to do something, try to be quick, but to talk about this craziness that is going on with the Real
And you know what
Housewives
we
of
say? We trying to be
Potomac.
quick. It ain't gonna be quick at all.
I know we're going to try with Juan and Robyn and all the cast and crazy Carlos King putting his 2 cents in. So we had to go live. Like we couldn't help it. Joy just sent me something. Okay, let me look at that. So where do we start, ladies? Like, how y'all doing? Let's start with that. And I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share our live.
We good.
We good? Okay.
Yep.
Should we start with, just in case you've been living under,
Yes.
I don't know,
Where'd y'all
a
go?
rock, or you not into reality TV? Let's say what happened first.
Okay, go Joy. Go do that. I'm sharing.
About a week or so ago, I mean, maybe a week ago, I don't even know if it was a week ago, I came across this post, this TikTok, or one of us posted it. Anyway, in the TikTok, there's this guy saying that a woman contacted him.
Kelly, what are you doing?
I know, right? I'm sorry.
A lady contacted him saying that she had an affair with Juan. And that TikTok has kind of gone viral, so you could possibly, I know you can find it now on TikTok. But anyway, it's just basically this lady was saying that she had this affair with Juan. The only text messages that she let him, that he exposed, was a waving hand, and she had a hotel receipt
with his name on it.
The guy on the TikTok said he removed all of the vital information so it wouldn't be exposed. You know, like it had his name, but
right.
It had his phone number, I think,
and his phone number. Yeah. So anyway, that was about a week ago. Then the episode dropped. Well, when the episode dropped, with that, they were, to make a long story short, Giselle and Robyn's podcast was released yesterday. And when it was released yesterday, it was that Monday.
No, it was the 30th. Yes, the 30th.
Yeah, it was Monday. Yeah. When they released their podcast, basically, Robyn said that there was a situation. I'm gonna tell you what she said on a podcast. Then we'll talk about what she said on Peloton, because it's different.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so she basically said on the podcast, you all can go see it. It's their latest one. And it's the last like 9 minutes. Anyway, she was saying that there was a situation. She would reveal more a little bit later, but she basically was saying it was something that they worked through, and it happened during COVID. It was when they were on lockdown.
2020, right?
Yes, it was like the end of 2020. And yes, it was a contributing factor with why she wasn't getting married when she was.
Right.
Why she kept pushing the dates back. Okay, so once she left this is what the biggest complaint is. Say this is that Peloton is something you apparently have to pay for. So it's not anything that you can get for free. I can't tell you how much, but anyway, she had people over in Peloton.
Patreon. Peloton's the bike.
Okay. Basically, here are the notes. Some notes. She basically said that the lady lived in Canada. This happened late 2020. She DM'd him about liking Giselle and Robyn. Juan entertained the conversation because she said he needed attention. He wanted some attention. Allegedly, the lady used the date. She told him that she used to date some athlete that lived in that area.
Yeah,
once travel restrictions was lifted, she messaged Juan and told him that she would be traveling, and he thought she was coming allegedly to see her old boo. She came to town a few days later, reached out to Juan, saying she lost her wallet and could he pay for a hotel. He said he went there, swiped the card, and walked away. The lady later messaged him about why he didn't stay, blah, 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 and asking her for money. She was asking for money to get her hair done.
$1,000. What kind of hairstyle is this, y'all? But go ahead.
It was $1,000.
$1,000.
Beaded box braid, seamless.
Okay, so the lady, so late 2021, the lady emailed Robyn the receipt for the hotel and her tea. She didn't entertain it online. So, didn't entertain it with the woman. The lady then DM'd Giselle and she called Robyn to tell her about it. And she had said that they had already worked through it because she was already aware of the situation. She's saying. Robyn also is saying that she assumed because she sent that information to Giselle that she sent it to everybody.
The whole entire cast.
And that's really important because she said she was waiting for somebody to drop this like all season because there was somebody, I think Jasmine Brand, I think that's who it was, had already posted this information, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody had actually broke this story like a year ago. This girl has been shopping this story allegedly for a minute.
For a year.
But,
make sure everybody understands that this is not a new story. And
it wasn't a new story, but somebody, because I'm almost positive it was Jasmine Brand, had dropped this story, so it wasn't new. That's why when what's her name them say they read it in the blogs, they really did. It just wasn't, people just really didn't pay it any attention. That's really what happened. So she was just waiting for somebody to drop it. And she said they didn't drop it. Now, Giselle knew about it, and somebody said that Ashley knew about it. I don't know how true that is. But that's what they're saying, that Ashley knew. Again, we haven't confirmed it, but we just know that Giselle knew.
Giselle, because she said it on the podcast. That's how we know.
Knew?
No, that Giselle said on the podcast. That's how we know she knew.
Yeah. So we knew that she knew. So people are there. Carlos King. So I think that's everything. People felt like Carlos King did this huge, like, I guess it was a YouTube video, or maybe it was Instagram or live or whatever. And basically, he talked really, really poorly about Potomac. While I will admit, he was basically saying that they were faking storylines, that they need to be fired because they didn't share that information. This scandal, I guess, and make it a part of their storyline, and they're not really showing their lives. While I will admit some of this kind of felt made up, it was coming not necessarily from anybody, because I'll tell y'all in a minute, I thought Wendy used to fake her scenes. This season, I didn't feel like that. The only scene that I felt like was kind of made up was like when she was coming home from her surgery.
Yeah, but that was fake.
I definitely don't think she faked that hair thing. I don't think, even the conversations that she had like with her husband, I felt was genuine. The only person I felt like was faking because it didn't feel real was Mia. But I think we kind of picked that up because we watch a lot of reality TV.
Yeah.
I don't think that it was just lying. I think she just made up stuff. Because I didn't even believe the Jacqueline stuff. But they kind of say things that low blows that make me think, well, maybe it's not. But she was the only one that I thought was faking.
So Hales is the only real person on the show is Candace. But Candace didn't want to show stuff about Chris and the restaurant. They all have some stuff they don't want to talk about.
Right. Now, what I will say, over this last 24 hours, I've watched a lot of different shows. I've watched Empire, I've watched Cheryl's World, I've watched the Carlos tape that everybody's talking about. And what I'm getting from some, and I've watched others that I haven't named, they're wondering why Carlos is speaking the way he is on Robyn and Giselle, and not just Robyn and Giselle, but the show in general. They're kind of like,
you talk about Bravo shows, period.
Yes.
Carlos has a very large following.
Yeah,
he does. He's meeting with a lot of different people over on the Bravo side. So his influence, let's face it, it's powerful.
It is. Right. It's disheartening that he did that.
So I mean, he has a lot of influence. He has a lot of influence, and so that is being called out by some people. There are also a lot of people, honestly, more than not. There's a lot of people out there that support his every word and agree with it all.
I was battling with some of those people because in Chatter Up's name, so hopefully we don't get banned. I didn't know. I realized when Chatter Up too was too late. Went to his thing and was like, "You are being teamed too much right now because you have a show that we watched the reunion where the people said that they met up to say what they were going to agree
before they start filming.
Before filming. So if that's the case, should they be fired? Like you cannot. What did you put on that thing? Sweep your own house. What did you say, Callie?
Sweep around your own front door before you come sweeping around mine.
Absolutely.
So I think people are just really confused from that because a lot of us, we like Carlos. We like him. It's funny to have him recap some of the shows, but it's the kind of situation like it's taking a tip over in a not so positive direction.
It makes his credibility it questions. It's really respect. It's a little bit of respect that you kind of lose. He already is an in your face kind of host.
Yes.
And that's fine if he wanted to do that regarding his shows. That's fine. He should have every right to do that. But you shouldn't tear down a house that helped make you.
Right.
And it's just like, if y'all listen to, like, I would never allow him to interview me. Like, anybody on Bravo should, like, not interview with him. That's like crazy to me.
I put Andy would never. Andy would never talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville and say fire anybody. He would never. So why is Carlos feeling like he can go over here and say who should have a job and who should not?
It just feels a little invasive. And he made the comment that he wanted everybody to have good reality TV. And, he was disappointed because he didn't feel like that was happening. So when I saw all the complaints going back and forth, and then I listened to it myself, I thought, okay, well, he seemed...
Callie, you stuck. I don't know what happened. Callie?
Concerned. The interview he did with Robyn and Giselle, and he talked positively of them.
Yes.
He put Giselle as the number one
producer
or whatever. Yeah, the producer of.
Callie, you breaking up. There you go.
Okay. My daughter's sending me pictures she wants. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
So I was just listening to, because I'm trying to catch up. So I was just listening to Reasonably Shady today, and I'm going to do a clip where he was in their hotel room. He was kikiing with Giselle and Robyn, talking about how great they are for TV, how they're his favorite, and all of this. And then just so he can get likes, because he uses them a lot. He uses Bravo a lot to get likes on his podcast. But I think that is just disgusting, because he was like, it's hard for Black women in reality TV. I know. And then for him to say they need to be fired, it's just disgusting to me. He's just doing team too much.
Not to.
And it's just I don't get it. And you're right. He has too much weight. He has too much clout. He has his audience is too big to be making this kind of. This is some rookie stuff.
Because he's gonna go. People are gonna follow his
This isn't
word.
somebody he's doing. Established people don't do. And people. Especially somebody who actually has an active show on. Like, could you imagine Andy going on Watch What's Happening Live and saying, "Oh, so and so need to be fired"? That and while I will agree, some things do look forced. It has looked like that in every franchise on every television. You don't even want to talk about love and marriage. While I'm okay with me and Tisha good, who have been saying for seasons that girl hasn't been real. Now she okay with me,
but she hasn't been her real self. You broke up, so I'm gonna say what Joy said. So we sitting here and we're gonna sit here and think that the first season Tisha was a housewife, and then in this season they trying to say that she been the boss of the company the whole time. Like their stories don't make sense. And then also, who posted something about Mel and Martell wasn't together, right? When the show first came
they
on.
weren't even.
He convinced them to get together for this show, so they wasn't 100% real selves. Should they be fired? Like, you cannot do this, Carlos, when you know your shows ain't real either. You know what I mean?
And I'm like, and that's something that we have to address, because everywhere I've posted, I've said this. Nobody and essentially you are mad that Robyn didn't really expose herself. They felt like in his mind that would have made a better storyline. I ain't gonna say that it wouldn't have, but I don't know anybody that would start off this. Well, I guess you could have. Portia did it. If you think Portia did it, but I'm like, if she didn't want to bring that to her, she could have. The situation could have turned out better for her outside if she was showing a process, like if they were going through a process. But I don't know many women that would put their marriage and here's the situation, potential marriage, because they're not even married.
They wasn't at the time. Yeah.
Right. For by chance, for fame, but Melanie Hope.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody in reality.
But Mel was going to leave. Robyn's going to stay.
I do think she would. I think her plan initially was to leave. I just don't know of women that would do that.
They won't. And then another thing, I'm sitting here and I'm like, Robyn has been very transparent. They were broke. Robyn showed us moving into a 2-bedroom townhouse where everybody else wasn't. Her depression. Juan and her, when he was like, if my kids wasn't here, I wouldn't be with you. Like, Robyn has not just hide her life. So for people to be mad at this one thing she wanted to keep to herself,
and she kind of didn't keep it to herself. We saw her talk repeatedly about this prenup, and it was always infidelity clause. Right. We heard her have a conversation with Wine with it. We saw her go to the lawyer with it. We heard her talk about it amongst her friends. That had been a running thing. She didn't have to say, because this new girl popped up and such and such. That had been an issue with them.
He was like, he was about to cry.
I was kind of sad at. What? This was also during the time when she was filming, and likely depressed.
Yes,
she was depressed. When she came back for season 6, she had was showing, and that was the tail end of it. And this was literally around the time this was happening. If you look at the receipts.
Yeah. Yes, and then a lot of people are like, well, Karen exposed them. No, the lady Karen talking about ain't from Canada. The lady Karen talking about is blonde. This lady is not. So it's not the same person.
Yeah.
Another person was like, well, she's gonna make us pay? No, it's not mandatory, sweetie. If you don't want to pay to hear what happened, then don't pay. She's not forcing you to pay on Patreon. You don't have to pay. You want to freaking pay. But if no one pays, they make no money.
When did the TikTok come out? Like, all the information is leaked. All you gotta do is Google. It's based on people's opinion, but it's people, more than one I've seen, who got a whole rundown of what she said.
Yeah, we just read it. Because we didn't pay for it, right, Joy? We did
not. I did that show. What I did, it was on Reddit though. On Reddit, it's like a couple of people that did a rundown on how much is Peloton. How much is that?
I don't know how much theirs is. I think each person can put their own, because everybody has this. That has a podcast where they go on. It's called Patreon. We don't. We should maybe. I don't know, but I don't think we want to charge anything. But they just charge a fee, and you come, and it's more intimate. So that's all it is. It's same like a podcast, but it's more intimate.
She said Hallie said $5 or $10.
Yeah, it's not expensive. So I mean, I'm just sitting here. I don't know. Another thing I had was
right. My whole thing is I don't understand why Robyn has been extremely transparent.
Yes,
she showed her broke, her hustling, working. Yes. Like she has been very humble. She talked about infidelity. She talked about how they lost their money. This was just another layer. Robyn, I think this was Robyn's thing, and this was so important. She said because somebody sent it to Giselle, she honestly assumed she sent it to everybody. She was just waiting on somebody to bring it out. It just didn't happen until Karen.
I don't think so. Else thinking Robyn. I don't think any of them is going to be fired. There's a rumor going around that Giselle's going to be demoted. Robyn's going to be fired. They don't know about Ashley because she knew. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, the Beverly Hills Housewives have been hiding shit for a long time, for a very long time. None of them have been fired except Brenda, and she don't have.
You couldn't even say Harry around that crazy girl.
Right. You couldn't say nothing about her husband. So I don't understand why. I think it's us. Can I say this? We want to fire our people all the time. Mm-hmm. We get so mad at stuff all the time. And it's like, fire them, fire them, fire them. And I was on Carlos' little thing. He might block us. But I was like, Robyn has been transparent, all the stuff we name. But also, why you want to fire this lady? Why are you advocating firing this lady?
She was the entire show this season. All I've been saying almost on every podcast is Karen and Robyn contract. This must be their contract year.
Yeah.
Because both of them was working overtime all season.
It just came out of nowhere, it seemed.
Right.
Yeah. Do you guys think, and you guys are breaking out on me a little bit, so I don't know if you can hear me or where I've missed, but do you guys think Carlos might have just been a little bit upset that he didn't get the exclusive or something?
I don't know.
No. Wait a minute. This was the thing, girl. He was in their tears. You know, I'm like, I want to say something so inappropriate on this, but I'm not. I'm like, dude.
What you say? Wait a minute. She said,
what's wrong with you? It's the second reality show in a month I've seen you cry about.
Destiny didn't show shit. And she's still on his show. Okay? So what in the world? Destiny didn't show about her divorce. She didn't show nothing.
And look, maybe this is just some new age reality stuff that people are going to be following, but to me he did the same thing with Destiny. He practically fired Destiny at the reunion, had the job reviewing her, and then but at least Destiny is on his network,
right? He told Destiny, don't do it for the gram, do it for the cam.
Okay,
that was he told.
Yeah, so maybe that was a little bit of why he got so upset, is because he didn't get the news first.
You think that's why? I don't know why he's so invested.
It's weird.
I know he started off with Bravo. I understand that.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said on one of the. Oh God. Somebody said on one of the. I think it was Cheryl's World. I've listened to so many. Somebody said he was a disgruntled.
You broke out. I think she's saying a disgruntled employee. There you go.
A disgruntled employee. I thought. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't.
That's what I'm saying. Is it because
you built a franchise even off a housewife with Monique? He weird.
And then she did him dirty. She said he didn't pay enough. Okay. I just wanted to add on Carlos' behalf. Destiny was put on notice that she was skating on thin ice and to step it up.
This was conversation. To maybe not within a contract. I don't know. Carlos has a lot of power. I wouldn't be surprised if it was really the other way around. And if all
So do y'all? Why do y'all think he's so?
Somebody didn't he attend Giselle Portia's wedding with Giselle?
Yeah, he did. They took a picture together. Him and Giselle are like friends. Like they talk of stuff all the time. He came on the podcast. If y'all gotta listen, it's on the the 23rd, I think. Just go to the 31-minute mark. I think it's when they start talking with Carlos. and the way he praised them, how he went to visit them, didn't even visit the other people on the cast, just them. And talked about how they were the producer and the co-producer, and he loved them. And then to like stab them in the back. Who would trust him? I would never trust him anymore, because it's not like he's doing this because he really feels in his heart. I don't think that. I think he's doing it for likes and for subscribers. And it's sad.
And this is the part that makes me sad, is that he's actually accusing them of flat out lying on people, like saying that the Chris Bassett, like all of that was made up, like they were sitting at a table conspiring. This is some Monique Samuels stuff. This is some crazy talk. Like, I'm not saying that it's not done or that it's not possible. I'm just saying for someone of his caliber to do that, it's just unreal.
And his castmates did it. They all met up and did the same thing. They met up and talked about what they weren't going to talk about and what they were going to talk about. Tish and Marcel, you can't tell me then say this season I'm going to try to not make you look like Boo Boo the Fool, and I'm going to try to make you look like a boss. You can't tell me they didn't have that conversation. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, why?
That's making other people that pull out what has happened on the other shows where they didn't tell what was really going on. People are starting to bring up all that stuff.
Because people create their own reality.
Like, yeah, she didn't really go tell them this. Yeah, so much different things out there that they're not telling. But Robyn is the one that he's putting on blast.
I was really shocked that he did that, because he's really saying that she needs to be fired. I just can't believe those words came out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that he said?
Something else that could be?
Huh?
Well, here's one thing that maybe we don't know. Maybe they really are somehow working together, and that's why Bravo hasn't said anything about it. Because in Bravo's mind, he is just a former employee. There's nothing for them to pay attention to, or it's just not important.
No, it turns into people going on Twitter and going on and talking about it on Facebook groups. And it does become a pressing issue. Do I think producers are possibly possible. It's definitely possible that they'll come across something on.
Wait a minute. Now, if the fans are saying if Andy fired Kenya,
even Andy has said in reunions, so many people say you should be fired. They used to say, he actually said it to Candace, I think.
He did. He said, I'm tired of people saying that people should be fired.
Yeah.
I think he said that BravoCon too. Like, the fans are getting crazy where they always
when they was asking about
it's people. I swear I don't like a lot of people on these shows. And I still watch the shows, even though I don't like those people, because that's people that I do like. I ain't never trying to mess with nobody's coins and trying to get them fired over some stupid crap like this.
Because I think everybody plays a part. The only time that I can say that I've said somebody should be fired, I don't even know if I've used that term. But I've said you can make yourself disposable. I know I said stuff like that, but it's based off of kind of sitting in the cut, not saying nothing, not getting involved, that sort of thing.
Or if you do something that hurts somebody or that's kind of illegal. So I know people were saying they wanted Erica to be fired, even though, and that kind of stuff. And with that, we were like, she just need to get a crap back. We never said, let her go, So I don't understand.
And I ain't never been that mad where I say, if so-and-so don't go, I'm not watching no more. To me, that is, for reality TV, it's laughable. It's kind of like when you go talk to your grandma and ask her about her stories, and she telling you that she had to stop watching because she having her heart rate go up. Like, grandma.
Okay, so I have a question. So you know how invested Huntsville fans are? I think that is coming over to Bravo because of him, because I feel like the fans have gotten worse with Bravo because of him, because he's talking about the stuff. He needs to stop talking. If I was Andy, I would tell them, none of y'all can interview with Carlos anymore. He's trying to mess up our franchise to make his look better. When his people do the same thing, they would not go back on Carlos's podcast. I would be like, no.
Let me ask you, watch what happens all the time. But has there ever been a own reality star on Watch What Happens Live?
Say it again.
So. Has anybody from OWN been on Watch What Happens Live?
Has there ever been anybody from the OWN, from Carlos's shows on Watch What Happens Live?
Monique before she got on there. That's it.
Well, yeah, Monique is Bravo. You know, I can't think of anybody that has.
Not one. Andy would never. Are we gonna post that, Callie? I said that to Carlos. I said Andy would never do this to you.
You know what? Let's be honest. Tyler Perry would never.
Tyler, none of them would never. Mona Scott would never. And she goes gutter with. Is she still over the hip hop people?
Who'd you say? Mona Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Mona Scott would never.
Yeah. They would never. So did Carlos say anything else? Because I want to get to the Breakfast Club stuff too, if we have a chance. Anything else about Carlos? Well, Martell is going to be on Bravo this season.
Oh, you know he said that Martell gonna go over there and save Atlanta. Okay, let me say this.
Now, shut the
hell
up.
Wait, repeat that. You broke out. Repeat.
He said that Martell gonna go over there. Did you say repeat it?
Yeah, because you broke out. What happened?
That Martell gonna go over to Atlanta and save that franchise.
Carlos said that?
Yeah.
Do you know how many viewers view Love and Marriage DC? Less than almost.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he might. I think I will say this. I think what he said is very cocky of him, but I think he will build a viewership because
maybe some of the people from Huntsville, but they ain't got but 300,000.
They got 500,000.
Make it. Huntsville don't even have half of what Atlanta has.
I know.
I think it does right at because Atlanta's just at 1 point something million.
So Huntsville barely gets 300,000 for barely.
I thought it was at like a half. Oh, that was the one that Wanda. Because somebody,
that was the only one.
They Wanda. Isn't that something though? The people that they want fired the most, because that's what I read a post that said that the highest rated episodes were surrounded around Wanda.
So so it ain't Martell. Well, he might bring over some of the people because I'm kind of curious to what
especially the fight
was the biggest. I'm not sure. They said the fight was 500,000. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the fight. It was that Martell surrounded around Wanda. That's what I meant.
Martell ain't saving nothing.
So, but Sheree won't be on.
Andy will not approve.
No, Sheree them was on. No, that was on.
So really?
You know, maybe there will be some cross shows. But
how did they do? Oh well. No. What's her name was on?
Who?
Huntsville. Contessa.
Remember an event. Yeah, she was.
She came to Destiny's event.
Yeah, she did. She did. So they go over there, but none of them really come over. But Martell's, I'm sure people who are watching
I know they filming him.
I think that's true too.
We'll
see how it goes up.
Martell, come on. I mean, it is what it is. Martell,
that may be. Now, that is true. It is possible that if it was 500,000 people out there, 300,000 already watched Atlanta.
We'll see how the numbers go up.
But it would be interesting because we've never seen Sheree in a relationship ever.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm gonna be able to tell you if it's real or fake because Martell's love language
for about 5 seconds.
His love language is touch, and if he ain't like that with her, it ain't real.
So I feel like that Carlos signs off for them to go over there to Andy so he can build his damn viewership up. They gonna save him. Sheree gonna save him. Kenya fighting Martell's gonna save him. It ain't gonna be the other way around.
Yeah, Atlanta was low. It was like around 1 million.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
But that was live. So just think what it is, not live. I think it gets up to.
Do y'all know season 6 or 7? I think it was 5, 6, or 7. What year did Portia come on? Portia, and we got the year that we got Portia and Kenya.
That was Carlos was the executive producer.
Yeah, that season, the season after that, and the season after that, they had 5 million, 6 million. That's why Nene and all of them got the carpet rolled out for them. They were the highest, and Jersey was right underneath it.
Yeah.
If Atlanta was at 4 million, Jersey was like 3.7, 3.8. Yeah. I'm making up numbers.
But that's why people watch live TV too, Joy. People don't really watch live anymore. And I wonder if they're going to combine Peacock numbers too. Because Peacock probably gets a lot.
But they don't stream. I know Bravo ratings, they actually gave a disclaimer a couple of months ago saying effective after a certain date that they weren't even going to add DVRs in next days.
Yeah.
So they were only going to give you ratings for live views.
For live, yeah. It's on their thing now.
That's why when I can remember somebody left, I think it was OC or something. I don't watch that. It was a franchise that I ain't never watched before. Apparently, one of the housewives left or got fired or something. And the next season, when they came back without her, she tweeted something. And he was interviewed. Andy was interviewed, and he said, well, she tweeted that her numbers went down.
Kelly Dodd. It was Kelly Dodd. She was saying the numbers were better and and he was like, I ain't worried because these are just not, these are the live views, these ain't the day afters. So they're gonna be high. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you don't miss it, Corey. Okay, so do y'all want to talk about, because we had 35. Do y'all want to talk about Nene and the Breakfast Club and the star list at all?
Did y'all hear about that?
Yes, it was so funny. I love it.
Okay, y'all want to tell it first? Let's tell it first. We can't talk like they know.
Responses.
Okay, so Nene was a guest host on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne and is it DJ Envy was asking her. She read something about Juan and Robyn, and that they were saying that the woman was trying to get famous off of them. Mm-hmm. And Nene was like, how can they get famous off of them when they're not stars? They're starless, saying that they were not famous, they were just known. Mm-hmm. What do you feel about what she said?
I was offended by it initially. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I can say about Nene is that Nene, one of the reasons why I like Nene is because she was so real. And actually, she's right. There is a difference between being famous, and if you think about it, there is maybe only 2 or 3 on all the franchises that are famous. Let's keep it real. If I don't even think it's one some from each. Kenya already had a name because she even said initially that Candy wasn't even famous.
She did.
Yeah, but then she said, okay, I'll give you Candy. But I do think there is a difference. Nene, for example, is famous for whatever reason.
But she wasn't before Bravo. She wasn't before Bravo.
This ain't about before or after. We're talking about today. Since this lady was talking about making him famous. I do agree with her that Robyn is known. She's not really famous. She's not known out of the housewives in the hemisphere. Nene is. Candy kind of sort of is. She's black famous.
Yeah, Kenya is. Who else? Shamari, you think? Not Shamari.
No, none of them. None of them. Nobody else. Not
you
even
don't think so?
Not even Portia. No. We're talking about Nene is actually in the History Museum.
Yeah, she's here in ours.
Right. Nene actually, and in Washington. The African
American. Yeah, I know she's in ours though, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Nene, when you think about housewives, like it's only 2 or 3 names that even pop up. Teresa, because of all of her scandal. I actually would say Kyle Richards even before Erica Jane, but because I think Erica Jane, I don't think would be necessarily known outside of a housewives hemisphere because she really didn't do anything. She, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like her album was on the top 2 or something. You understand what I'm saying? They're just not famous. It's no.
So Erica, what's her name?
Don't we talk
Lord,
about Erica?
Ebony K was like, well, there may not be celebrities, but they're Bravo celebrities.
Oh, absolutely. She didn't argue that.
they are famous. And then Charlamagne made a good point. He was like, well, TikTok star might not be famous to you, but it could be to your 12-year-old. So it depends on what you mean by fame. He was talking about
that's not famous, that's known. But that's the exact famous.
But it could be famous to them. Like you're famous to them.
Famous usually applies to kind of being worldwide.
Now we can.
At least the United States wide. Worldwide.
Nene said all of that in fun.
I don't think she meant. So let me read this comment because this is how I felt when I first read it.
He had proof that, of course, she does know Nene. And so I thought it was a good, funny conversation. She pulled out the proof.
And
that's the fun shade, which is something Joy always says, is this is fun shade. I like fun shade. That's the fun.
But this is what I first thought.
She kept Nene contacted Ebony, who she said Robyn didn't know. And she was like, hey, you don't like wave that I had, remember?
Yeah. So Nene, so this is, I want to read this comment real quick, y'all. Nene is so bitter, it's hard to watch. Giselle and Robyn have only spoken highly of Nene and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is why it's so hard for people. Like, that's how I initially felt, because I feel like even Ebony talks highly about Nene. Even Kenya,
usually does.
They all talk so highly of her. So I felt like she was a disgruntled employee when I first heard. I was like kind of disappointed in her because I'm thinking that's what you started. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Bravo,
were you a little disappointed?
I was too.
I was very disappointed.
Yeah, my whole point is
Nene,
she can talk about management all day long, but don't talk about them ladies that's sitting on the other end of the camera. But that I didn't think was cool.
So somebody said
it just wasn't cool. I'm team Nene. I'm really.
I like Nene too. It kind of disappointed me, and it was like you don't have to tell. And Robyn's already been beat the hell down right now. Like it just wasn't.
But she wasn't lying. Let's be clear.
But she wasn't lying about it. But Charlamagne was like, "Look, I've seen, because they're on his Black Effect podcast. He said I've been to their live shows and people thank for them, fall out for them, really love them. I was happy that he kept taking up for them no matter what. Like, no, they're doing good.
It was just an unnecessary dig,
right?
That's really what it was, because it is based off true. I think there is a difference. I think because to my understanding, this kind of proves
I was okay with it though. I was okay
she's with known, not famous. They said Robyn's so regular. She goes to all her sons, whatever.
Basketball,
yeah. It was a lady who was in our group. She was their neighbor. Yeah. She said she was like a regular she was like a boy mom. So she was always doing boy mom stuff. If the team, they had baking stuff, she would do her part. Like she didn't send nothing or act diva about it. It came in the same little plastic containers that everybody else did. She was a mom. She was regular.
She still is, Rob. Even on the show, Giselle has to tell her, you're on a big reality show. She's like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I'm anything. I mean, it hasn't gone to her head. Do you think so? A lot of people think that this has gone to Nene's head, and she's a wannabe. Do y'all believe that?
I don't think she's a wannabe. She is just not. She's no longer absolutely hungry. When you're hungry, you're careful with your words, because you know what I'm saying. She's no longer hungry. And
so what has? So here's a question: what has she done since Bravo that makes her so famous? We know she's in the museum because of I know she's in the African American Museum here because of Bravo. But what has she done that made her famous outside of Bravo?
She
was on College Hill.
That's still a reality show.
Glee.
That was before.
She did Glee in the new normal. But I mean, that doesn't necessarily make her famous. It was an unnecessary comment. It was completely unnecessary. I even agree with her if she had just stayed with. What I mean by that is, but she's right though. She would have only made her famous in a very limited.
Thank you, Latoria.
I agree with what she said. It was just unnecessary because it was almost like, and it was unnecessary because everybody knows that Nene would fall under the famous category. So it was almost like saying, I'm here. You're here.
I'm here. And it could have been in a funny way, but at that point, this woman is already knocked the head down. That's like beating somebody when they down. You know what I mean? Yeah. I felt like it was unnecessary. But I mean, I don't have anything against Nene because she did it. And even on the post, even on the post where I commented, she put starless under there. When he said fire her, Nene's comment was starless. So she went further than just the Breakfast Club. She said it on his Instagram post too.
Yeah, I hate that Nene did that. That's my girl. I always take up for Nene.
That's why she ain't happy.
It's just certain things you can't even.
I didn't take it bad at all. I just cracked up laughing, and Ebony was probably a good one to speak on it after that too, because she's got her little judge head on, and she's like, "Look, she would not win case because here is the proof. She does know me." But I get it. Robyn is going through a hard time now, and I just hate to see people coming down on her so hard, saying she didn't do something the same way that everybody else doesn't do something. Yet we ain't said.
It's just okay.
I just don't know people that bring scandal to their front door.
And nobody's bitter.
I mean, not for the world to judge.
It's that we're bitter. I don't think Tori says we're bitter because Robyn got dragged. I don't think she was dragged. I just think it was unnecessary.
Who dragged her?
I don't think that was a drag in her. I just feel like it was unnecessary.
Latoya Dowling.
Oh, he trying to say Carlos King dragged her. I don't even think that was a drag. I think what he was really dragging the show. I mean, he's essentially, I don't know. I guess she's trying to, say that Giselle faked the whole Chris Bassett thing, which again doesn't make sense to me because Chris Bassett confirmed everything that she said.
Yeah.
The only thing that Giselle said that I think was extra and she shouldn't have said was that boy was sneaky link. I don't know if it was her silly attempt to
I
be
didn't like
funny. I just don't think you should add hot sauce on even the closeness of somebody else's husband made you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's something that you talk straight forward to. Just like when she went to Candace, she said she talked straight words to her. She said she didn't add any hot sauce. She shouldn't have added any hot sauce later. Is it possible that they cut something from a conversation, from even things that would come out a little bit later and then say that it's possible? But it's just kind of stupid to even give that kind of ammunition because it's too serious. It could be considered too serious of a situation. But
so I do feel like let's talk about this Karen thing. Karen lies all the time, and and everybody just, I don't know why everybody forgives Karen for everything. She lies all the time. But did y'all see? I didn't watch the live, but Karen did a live, and she said in season 8 she wants Robert, talking about Robyn, to talk about whatever happened with this lady, and she feels like she's been vindicated, I guess, but it's not even the same lady. But what do y'all think about Karen calling her Robert?
I think it's rude and disrespectful, and I know that stuff is sometimes fun shade, but this isn't a fun shade moment because Robyn is really going through something that some people are completely trying to come down on her for when there shouldn't be a need to, because if we're going to be honest about it, what has Karen admitted to? All we hear is all these rumors about her alcohol antics. We hear the rumors. But no confirmation from Karen. Why? Because Karen's not discussing it. So what is the difference? Why are you so uptight about Robyn not discussing something when if you compare the two, Robyn didn't tell about a girl that didn't have sex with her husband, but on the other end, this lady may be drinking while driving and could really hurt someone. Yet we don't want to talk about that.
She got her license freaking
Let's just come on.
Allegedly. Let me put up our little spiel. Everything we say is alleged, our opinion, entertainment purposes only. We didn't say that at first.
I'm like, she got that driving for a reason, y'all.
And because we're going only by what's on TV, that's why it is so easy for some people like us to say, well, how are you going in on one and not the other when they're done the same thing?
And I'm sitting here, and you know that they called Robyn Robert, trying to say she's manly, a transgender, and all this stuff. I can't believe, because if she would have called her Madame, what's that little Muppet that Karen looked like?
Yes, I'm trying to look it up.
If they called her that, what she looked like.
What's the name?
Or Dwight. She looked like Dwight from Atlanta. People always say that about Karen, look like Dwight. So if Robyn did that, she'd be hot.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't like Karen.
It's true.
But
we don't call Karen out. I mean, and you know what? It's just, she's not one of my favorite people, but still. Come on, Karen.
Not the Great Dane.
That is a beautiful dog. Get that.
When you can make
my
that
favorite dog.
Great Danes.
Great Danes. They're beautiful.
So we got anything else? Y'all, let me make sure I got on my notes.
No, that's so funny. Nope. I'm done.
Okay, I think we got everything. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe and all of that to us. We came on really quickly. We were sitting down just talking, and I was like, we need to go live because this is team too much. You know what I mean? She said, y'all call out Karen all the time from the moment I met y'all. We do. We the onlyest ones, though, Tori. We the onlyest ones.
Everybody be called out, because if you're gonna call out one person without,
but Carlos King,
and you're gonna hear people complain.
You need to apologize.
When is the announcement coming out, though, y'all?
Not get rid of Karen.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't you mean Rich riding on her broom?
No.
Okay, so a lot of people on here don't really like Karen.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
But yeah, Carlos needs to stop. Do y'all agree? Is that what our consensus is?
What? Yeah, it does. But I will say real quick. So Carlos, first of all, of course, he would say that we're not even on his.
Kelly, I think you went out. Right? Go ahead, say it one more time.
Am I breaking up still? I have no idea what I said. So Carlos is probably, thinking he can do whatever he wants to do when he's on his own time. Can't we all? Obviously not, because Juan's in trouble.
Right. And why nobody ain't mad at Juan? Why is everybody mad?
I said the same thing. I was like, ultimately, Robyn, that ain't
I'm not getting in trouble.
Right. Somebody posted, we trying to keep it real.
Look out, because y'all talk all
Giselle should be so
we can't, because you're breaking up, Callie. Sorry.
Okay.
Now you back. Go ahead. Let Callie finish, because she was breaking up.
Oh, go ahead.
I have no idea.
But now you back. You gotta know now that you back.
Okay,
I'm doing
y'all this. They said everybody want to keep stories real. Giselle needs to be so petty and spiteful. She should call Eddie's parents on the show and let's get to the bottom to why they ain't see their grandbabies.
Because it's got to take a lot of hate to not see your grandbaby, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tori. Let's read what Tori said, because it's really good. This is why y'all are a better blog show to me, because y'all don't just talk about the cast, but everything that details in the show. Thank you, Tori. We do try.
Now, if our page is canceled tomorrow, Tori, we all know why. Just call Carlos.
It's Carlos that got us canceled. So do y'all think Carlos should just focus on? I think he would.
I don't mind. To my whole thing is, if he was just doing what he was doing before, you don't talk negatively from the people that you're going to ask something from. Yeah. If he's not interviewing Bravo, unless Bravo told him
from your competitor
no more or something.
Right.
Like, that's weird. Like, that's all he talk about is what he going to talk about.
Right.
All he talks about is Bravo.
But why?
I
think it's his own company, Kingdom Reign. So Kingdom Reign works for OWN. Yes. And so OWN probably doesn't care that he is all up in Bravo's business as a disgruntled person, allegedly. Or
I don't know.
It's something off about that.
Oh, yeah. Tori says we talk about the editing. We talk about the voiceovers, the cutback, the callbacks, the cameraman, the producer. We do.
Yeah, Joy
we do be on the editing. We may be too involved.
Y'all didn't hear that part where Giselle in the editing said, "Your mic is on. Your mic is on." I
got to go back. That was to Sheree.
When they were at the table in the strip club, go back. You heard Giselle saying, "Yes, your mic is on. Your mic is on."
Because I don't think Giselle wanted Sharice to say all that. You can
I
tell
don't
by
think
her
she
face.
did either.
Don't
They
look at
kept
her
going
face.
back to her face smiling.
Yeah,
though.
she was worried.
But Giselle did add at the end. I've known all of this, and I didn't say anything. But I don't think that's what I thought, that Giselle didn't want Sharice to say anything. She was just like, because I heard her say, "Your mic is on. Your mic is on." Go back and watch.
Joy.
Huh?
Joy, let me say this real quick. Hopefully y'all can hear me.
Okay.
So just to respond to Joy's comment earlier in the call, where she said the only person that would put their lives out there for fame is
you broke up, Mama. You broke up. There you go.
I don't believe. Did you hear what I said?
Melody Hope, I think.
Earlier. Okay. Earlier Joy said Melody Hope was the only one that would put herself out there for fame. Is that what you?
Yes, that's what she said.
I think you meant to say that she had it planned. She went on the show, and now here comes the divorce that she wanted.
Yeah,
I believe that happened.
Yeah,
I don't believe that to be the case.
Okay. Go back and
I really don't. Or we wouldn't have Sugar Mama.
I do.
Innocent.
Callie, we had the biggest argument about that. Y'all remember? And it was she was a oops.
She was an oops.
Sometimes you get oops blessings. You get blessings like that. I don't think that Melanie did. I do believe that Melanie loves Martell. I never not believed that. But I do believe she got back on his show to divorce him and make it her triumphant. And she got pregnant in the process. And but I do believe she loved Martell. And I do think a part of her wanted to probably still wish that it could work.
Who wants a marriage to fail?
Right. So, but I do believe she had intentions, because Carlos confirmed that if this comes out, we're going to handle this. I got your back. But it was Melanie on the first day of filming.
Melody, do not come to
about her affair.
She said Melody.
She came on here, and Martell, we've just recently found out that Martell actually told the cast not to talk about it.
Yeah, it was him.
So that's why Kimmy and Maurice.
Well, you guys are brave, but Joy, I don't think you should speak on Martell anymore, because you are not able to be rational. Okay, and so
yeah, we proved that last episode when she was talking about Chris, and I was like, Chris,
every time. Okay,
but this looks okay. So
Team Melody and Martell.
I love Giselle because she takes a public beating and still stands tall. She does. She doesn't get on there and gripe.
She really do.
I do think Giselle, Robyn, and Ashley are all guilty, and we're on in this deflection scheme. It just backfired. So you think it backfired?
How does it backfire?
I think because the stuff came out about the girl.
Well,
maybe.
But everything that has come out about this girl,
that's a legitimate thing. Like, if you
there was not a sexual relationship.
Right? Well, whatever.
I don't know. They went to a hotel.
Okay, so then why
likes it? I love it.
Why the tears from Carlos?
Carlos is a crier. He's a crybaby. And Candace needs to give him a damn cry angle. Okay, give Carlos a cry angle.
I don't think it's off to assume that if people are texting your business, that the person didn't send it to everybody else, especially considering that Giselle was the closest.
I agree.
That's true.
So what was she supposed to do? Call him on the phone. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about
my scandal?
Did you hear about that? Right. So I'm just like, and all of them talking about what they heard. Wendy sat at the table and said she heard something. Candace sat at the table and said she heard something. Now Candace did on Twitter when her husband was on there whining like a baby. And somebody said
not whining like a baby.
Right. When Christina was on there, I don't like that.
Don't call him that.
No girl. When he was on there whining, somebody had piped in and said, "Your wife is friends with Robyn." I'm sure she knew. Candace then said, "I knew nothing of this."
She didn't.
So she's saying that she didn't. Well, maybe she ain't that good of a friend. But I wouldn't have went around and say, "Did you get this? Did you get this?
Here we go.
Did you get this?"
Here we go.
Like, I wouldn't have did that either. And I believe she was sitting already, because that chick was acting jumpy all season. It kind of makes sense.
Do you think all these side chicks think they can be on the show?
It's disgusting that a woman wants her business to get out there. This is a woman that already leaked it to one person and it didn't catch a year ago.
Right.
So they're putting that stuff up. That's like insane to
like
me.
Candace too.
I like Candace too. That's
you like girl. Candace.
Yeah.
I don't like some of the things she say when she talk about the people.
It's coleslaw that make people think they can get on reality. Let me tell you, you know whose fault it is? These side chicks being on reality TV. Tiger Woods' first side chick. Remember the one that
that's the difference of being famous and known.
Infamous.
Because she's actually known. Because I read an article, it was so funny. Y'all have to read it. It was an article written about Sheree and Martell already cheating on her.
Yes.
And the article was written like they don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, but they're fans of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh,
you know how I know? They said, and this young lady tweeted, he was just with me last night. And he
coleslaw.
He's talking about coleslaw. And he kept calling her the lady. I said, this idiot don't know who this is.
He has no clue. So do y'all think it's pitiful that this excuse Robyn said that the girl lost her wallet?
Yes.
Okay. I think so.
Look, hey, this ain't our story.
But Juan needs to be in the hot seat, not Robyn.
I agree.
That if Juan
it goes back to a lot of people just dislike Robyn because we all love Juan. They dislike Robyn, so he's trying to put Robyn out there.
That's sad because if Juan don't learn from this though, Robyn, you better Melody hold it, okay? You better Melody Sharid. You need to go.
All I keep thinking that saddens me the most about this was during the time she was depressed. That saddens me the most. And then I wonder, was this during the time when they were going through it? Think about it.
That's why she wanted the infidelity clause, everyone.
That's why she wanted the infidelity clause. That's all she talked about. Every time she mentioned that,
would anyone expect her to open up to Karen anyway? Why? Why would anyone expect her to open up?
And why would anybody think but that woman look like Karen? No, that lady does not look like Dwight or Madame, whatever her name. They don't look like that.
Karen done lost her mind, and she had the nerve to say he invited her to a threesome, and squeezed her so hard that he almost broke a vertebrae.
Now, no, she probably was drunk, didn't know what her vertebrae was.
Okay, so on the OC, I think it was one of the girls' husbands sued Tamra Judge for talking and gossiping about
Alexa. Is her name Alexa? Her husband,
Alexis Bellini or something.
Yep, that's it.
On what show?
On the OC.
On the OC. Juan, you might just want to check that out. That's all I'm saying.
That's so sad. I hate that Juan did that. All right. So are we done? We've been on an hour. We did good. I'm proud of us for we need to do this more often. We need to do more pop-ups because I think we're really good on pop-ups. Well, our lesson for the day is Carlos.
We just wanted to
apologize to Robyn and Giselle or whoever.
Yeah, it ain't right.
Not Bravo. What else?
It ain't right. It just ain't right.
It's not right.
It's days like this. I wish they they have a lot of impulse control.
Yeah.
Robyn and Giselle, because it seemed like they should at least say something like, "Come on, dude," like something.
They will not.
They will not.
Chris does not, because on one of the things he responds all the time. One lady was like, "Chris, we know you was gonna respond." He was like, "Well, I'm bored." He was like, "I'm bored. What else I'm gonna do?"
Right. Day drink. He's sitting around day drinking.
Yeah.
Every time you see Chris, he got some brown in his right hand.
Say now, Joy.
It's 10 a.m.
Season for
somebody had said something to me, and I said, "You must be Karen's relative." I said, "Girl, tell her that vodka and orange juice is not a mimosa.
It's not, okay? That is no.
It is not a mimosa."
She has a right to feel that was too tight. Yeah. So why did you hold it to be weaponized later?
Kern is a Kern, okay?
many seasons
Joyce,
ago?
yeah, Joyce said he's sitting around day drinking.
He's sitting around day drinking. It's 10 a.m. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
5 o'clock somewhere, honey.
Happy
Over in
hour.
Africa. Yes, he loves to drink just like the Great Dane. Oh, y'all need to stop. All right, y'all. It's been really, really fun. Let me put up our thing so you can make sure to hit our QR code, chatter up. Hopefully we'll still be here and Carlos ain't mad at us because we had an opinion. We still gonna watch Huntsville, Carlos.
How you gonna be mad at us for having an opinion about his opinion?
We still gonna watch Huntsville, Carlos. Okay,
that's my show.
We still gonna watch it, even though they fake it over there too, and you ain't find Destiny.
I don't fake it. My whole thing is, I will say this: just make it less known. Like, hey, your lives together. Everybody be in sync, because I do find it strange that the come in story, because they're trying to say that Karen was involved with this. It kind of would make sense why Karen would talk about Juan and it would come in at the end. It do kind of make a little sense. But what if this all, girl? What if this all was a plan?
I gotta find your song. Send it to me again, because it's probably all the way up in our chat, and I ain't gonna make.
What if this all was a plan from the beginning? Karen would have to be involved,
because they said it's at that dinner they had. Remember when all the OGs got together? It was Karen, Giselle, Robyn, and Ashley. They all went to eat. They're saying that's when they schemed it. I don't know if that's true. That's what Carlos said, allegedly. Now, who gonna tell him that? I don't know.
Girl, that would literally have to mean that Karen was him. She would have to be involved. But it's not mere accident that Karen told that story to Giselle, and it would come almost at the finale. That's no accident.
Oh, well.
This would be all I could say if they did.
Good, bravo. Not the Denise Richardson.
It was an entertaining season.
Kelly, you on mute. I don't know if you know that. Kelly, did you see what Corey said about her song? She wants us to play it.
And you broke it out. I don't know what you just said. What am I docking up?
Will you send us the song again, Tori? Tori did us a song.
Oh, I still have it.
Oh, you still have it? Okay. Give them a raise.
Well,
all right.
It wasn't
Go ahead, Kelly.
We'll play with it.
All right, Chris somewhere saying, go
stay warm. Hopefully it's not snowing wherever you are. Stay warm, and we will be back Monday to talk about Potomac again.
Real quick. Post who is the king of reality? Andy Cohen or Carlos?
Not Carlos
King.
Are we having a grand damn argument? Like, who's the grand dame, the real grand dame?
The real, Who's
So it's Sharice and Andy. Sharice to the Andy. Versus Karen to Carlos.
And I'm going with Andy. Whatever's Andy's on. And I like Carlos.
He definitely the reality king. For real.
Yes, Andy. And I was gonna say something else. Oh, when does New Jersey come? Is it this Tuesday? February 7th? When is that? I think it's the 7th or the 9th.
Time for Jersey already?
Yes, we will do Jersey too. I think it's either the 7th or the 9th. It's an odd number.
We got at least 4 more episodes
of Potomac. Yeah. And another thing, people are saying that Robyn should be fired because she didn't show her. She didn't show her wedding, like Kenya didn't show her wedding. Robyn's wedding is going to be on the show.
Yeah, she said and the scenarios were different. Kenya actually was dating Mark during filming. She kept it private. And be honest, I wasn't even mad at her about that. I don't even think Bravo was so mad about the fact that she just got married. I think Bravo was mad at the fact that her husband also then wouldn't film. So they would be talking about a storyline that we couldn't even see, because that's that season that he popped up at the very end. Kenya, after that, Kenya left for a year. She got pregnant. She actually got pregnant, and we didn't see her that whole year until the finale.
That was
when she was pregnant, and then after she had, that's when she was let go. that year that she had.
Well, I think she got a bad contract because Bravo don't let you go, but she didn't agree with the contract, so she didn't come back. Right. So she did get a contract.
Okay, look at his comment says we didn't know about Carlos till Candy skin.
Right.
Two
Andy got a rate.
One about the sex dungeon and two about stealing the life story.
Yeah.
So both, Carlos.
Tell us about that, Carlos. You still in that story, Carlos. All right, y'all. We getting off of here. It's been real. We'll do another pop-up. Let something else happen. We don't want anything to happen, but we do. We can talk about it. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, we didn't let nobody come in. Oh, well, it's time to go.